Welcome to another episode of Rob's Pod. And today we're going to do another episode on relationships. We have Margaret with us from Australia, and I think you're going to find this show very interesting as well. The name of the show is The Question of the Perfect Partner. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to paraphrase in the beginning here something I read from an author called Don Miguel Ruiz. He gives a wonderful analogy of the perfect relationship. I read this book a number of years back. I can't quite recall, but he did such a great job with this analogy. I still remember it to this day, and I'd like to paraphrase the best that I know how because I feel it's extremely helpful for anyone looking for that perfect partner. He uses an analogy of a cat and a dog. He says that if you were to describe the perfect relationship with a man and a woman, it would be extremely similar or just like the relationship you have with your dog. So, what did Don Miguel Ruiz mean by this? What was he referring to? I believe he was referring to when you have a dog, you don't expect anything other than the dog to be acting and playing like a dog. And if you had a cat, you would not expect the cat to do anything other than act like a cat. And the point here is that if you were going out to get a dog as a companion, you would not buy a cat and try to change the cat into a dog. And likewise, if you wanted a cat for a companion, you would not go out and buy a dog and try and change him into a cat, because it's pretty ridiculous, really. The dog would do everything a dog does, and you would never expect anything but that. And you would love the dog just for being a dog. This is very important, because when we go out to find a companion, all too often we try to make that companion into something they are not. We try to make them into something that we want. We try to change them. And I've heard this so many times and so often. I can change him. I can change her. The relationship becomes a battle, a war of control, to see who's going to control whom. And as we all know, this is a battle no one can win. If you want a dog, get a dog. If you want a cat, get a cat. Don't get a cat and expect it to go around the house barking like a dog. It's not going to happen. And don't get a dog and expect them to say meow. And you know, you would never try to change the dog into a cat and vice versa. So why do we try to change our partner? The most obvious question I get from people when they hear this analogy is, well, how would I know how to find the right person? How would I know if I've chosen the right person? And these are good questions, by the way. I'm going to give you a very easy way to do that. And I think you'll find it extremely helpful if you're searching for that perfect partner. But before we go into that, I would like to discuss the situation at hand, which is how we make the choice currently and the results that it can produce. So to better understand what I'm talking about, let's look at the dog situation. Your dog doesn't have any opinions of you, which makes it easy to love him. And the dog obviously loves you unconditionally. And this is probably one of the most important points of this. To love someone unconditionally means that you love them for exactly who they are without judgment. Think about that. To love someone unconditionally means that you love them for exactly who they are without judgment. You know what else is very interesting about this relationship is the fact that you enjoy feeding the dog. You enjoy taking it for walks, playing with it, and of course, giving him treats and sharing him with your friends. In all this action, it brings you great joy. And in that joy, you're experiencing the love coming out of you. To you, the dog is perfect because he acts just like a dog. I think we can learn so much from this little example. How many of us are not happy with the way our partner acts, plays, eats? But that fault is not faulting at all. It is just the way the person is. It is our false perceptions of that person that creates the problem. So what I'm saying here is it doesn't mean that you won't have bad days. You can come home upset and unhappy and just want to be left alone in peace and quiet. If your partner understands your needs, understands the way you are when you're upset, and allows you to be who you are without interfering, this is perfect. This is respect, by the way. Because in order to respect someone, you have to give them the benefit of the doubt that they can handle their own problems. If you decide you can handle their problems for them, you don't respect them. So if I respect my partner for their needs and their desires and the things that they want out of this life, or even in the moment, then I have no reason to interfere. It is the same with the dog. You can have a bad moment. Something happens at work. You had a car accident. You lost some money. It doesn't matter what happened. You come home and your dog greets you with its tail wagging and very excited. But you are not in the mood to play with your dog. You go inside and you sit down on the couch. The dog doesn't love you any less. He goes off and plays by himself. He allows you to be who you are in the moment. We can learn so much from our pets if we just pay a little attention to them. Am I saying we shouldn't support each other when one of us is feeling low or down? Not at all. When one of us is feeling bad, the other can still remain happy. And that happiness can sometimes bring the other's happiness back. But if we both start feeling bad, then the entire relationship can start to sink. We can support each other by respecting each other's feelings. So how do we support each other? With our love, with our understanding, and with our romance. In all of this, if we treat our partner with love and respect, we will surely reap the benefits. When you meet somebody for the first time, they usually want to share much of their life story with you. And you, in turn, like to share your life stories with them. You share all of your qualities, all the little idiosyncrasies in your life, your humor, your passions, your desires. You share all this with them, and they share all this with you. And in that, if you pay close attention, you can almost see if they're a cat or a dog. It's not difficult. So to answer the question of how do you pick the correct partner, I have a method that seems to work extremely well. And let me just explain it to you, and you can try it if you like or not. You make a list of the exact qualities you want in a partner. Take some time and get very detailed. Make sure it is a positive list. Don't list things like I don't want an alcoholic or I don't want a sloppy person. Those are negative qualities. You want to keep positive qualities in the list. I would like someone that is healthy, that is neat, that is caring for animals, that has the same spiritual beliefs that I do, a person that loves kids. You get the idea. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take the list and you're going to surrender it to the universe. Throw it away. Put it in a drawer. Hide it. Whatever you want to do. But you're going to surrender it to the universe, to God, to the superintelligence, or whatever you think the power behind this dream is. Next, you're going to trust. You're going to trust that the universe will provide everything you need to be happy. And then you're going to give thanks. You're going to show gratitude to the universe by thanking it as if it has already happened. Very, very important that you do that. But there's one little secret that you must know before you put the list away.